Hello. Welcome to my booktube. Okay. So, Korea was having this thing where they were killing the online bookstores. Not really. They're making the prices the same, and all the online stores were like closing, so they had this big sale thingy. It's kind of complicated to explain, so I'm not going to explain it. And they were having a huge sale, and I'm just like, okay, I am buying those books. I'm gonna buy them all, even if I'm never gonna read them. So here I am, with the books. So first we have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. It's the last book in the trilogy. I guess the trilogy of the Stephanie Perkins romantic books that she wrote, which consists of Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After. And it was sent to me by my mother's friend, and thank you so much for sending it to me. And I really loved it. I already read it, and it was such a sweet ending, and it was just so cute. You should definitely give it a try. And it's about Isla and the last story. You should read Anna, oh my god, I'm getting stuck with the Frozen pronunciation. You should definitely read Anna and the French Kiss first, and then you should read Lola and the Boy Next Door, and then you should read this, because the stories are kind of intertwined, so you should, like, read them in order. You know, they're technically a series, so I mean, nah. Next on our list, we have Allegiant by Veronica Roth, and another last book of this trilogy. And I've been so scared to read this because it's the ending, and I've already been spoiled, so I haven't been feeling very motivated to read this, I guess. And I've kind of been procrastinating, but I'm gonna read it anyway, so I'm gonna be reading this, so I hope I know what happens in the ending, don't worry, I know who dies, and I don't want to read this. Looking for Alaska by John Green. I have a whole John Green book collection kind of thing over here, and the only book I was missing was Looking for Alaska, and I bought it. But then recently, apparently it was like the 10th anniversary or something, and they came out with a prettier book with 50 extra chapters. What am I supposed to do? I already bought a book. And I didn't know that Alaska was a human being before I got spoiled. And I also got spoiled on The Fault in Our Stars right before the ending, and now I know that Alaska is a human being and not a state. Next on our list, we have a bunch of Gayle Forman books. First, If I Stay by Gayle Forman, Where She Went by Gayle Forman, and Just One Day by Gayle Forman. Honestly, I don't really know anything about these books, so I can't really explain it to you. I kind of know what this one's about. It's about Allison, who's on a Europe trip, and she meets the stranger Willem, a roving actor apparently. Roving actor Willem. And Willem, the roving actor, asks her to go to Paris with her and ditch this whole trip then. And she says yes, and she has to make a decision in just one day. I love going into books without knowing anything about them. I think these will be an exciting read. And next on our list we have Clockwork Angel by Miss Cassandra Clare, and apparently I have the City of Bones and the Mortal Instruments series, like 4 books from it, and I read until the City of Glass, but I wasn't feeling so intrigued by them. And apparently these series, the Infernal Devices trilogy, is a lot more interesting than those, so I decided, why not give this a try first, and then give it another chance later. So I bought this book, and I already read a little bit of it. It's really interesting, and I'm so excited to read it. The Lunar Chronicles, which consists of Cinder, Scarlet, Cress. So you've probably seen these books. They're amazing, and well, who's the author? Marissa Mayer. She's an amazing author, and these are kind of fairy tale twist-offs, and they take the fairy tales and they change it into futuristic dystopian. The main characters are such butt-kicking protagonists. I've so far read Cinder only because I had no time to read any other books. But Cinder is about Cinderella, and it's about how Well, I'm not going to tell you anything because this is so surprising and shocking with each chapter, so it's better not to know anything about it and jump right into it. It's going to be good, I promise you. Just read it, go read it, it's good. Next on my list is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And I've started a little bit of this book. I'm halfway through-ish, and it's about this girl, and whenever she falls in love with somebody, she writes a letter. She writes a letter to the boy she likes, and she puts everything, all her feelings into that one letter, folds it up, puts it in an envelope, addresses it, and puts it in a box, and doesn't send it to anybody. It just stays there. And that's how she gets over her crushes. So, one day, all her letters get mailed out. A chaotic experience happens. So next is a contemporary book, and it's called My Life Next Door, and it's about Samantha, whose life is orderly and clean and just straight line, and suddenly she gets a new neighbor, and they are the kind of people that keeps up decorations like 2 months after the holiday is even over. You know, one of those people. I'm one of those people. Her mom hates that next door neighbor, and they have a son, and naturally she has to fall in love with the son, whose name is Jace, and you know, her mom hates him, so she needs to keep this relationship a secret. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, but I hope they don't die in the end, because if they die in the end, that's pretty upsetting. This is by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's it! Thanks for watching, guys, and this was my book haul.